When I first saw the game, it was had to be one of my most anticipated games that I've been waiting for, and thankfully, the waiting time was such right that the game is pretty good, to say the least. The game was developed by the Outsiders and published by Funcom. Yeah, the same developers who actually made Conan Exiles, by the way, in case you guys don't know that. But anyways, the game is built using the Unity engine, and this is a first-person shooting rhythm game. Yeah, I'd be sitting here and telling you guys this is not exactly it, but no one ever would say, well, what would we make a first-person shooting rhythm game? So if you were to tell someone that back then, they would just laugh your face off. But apparently, this actually works perfectly. Like, you sit here, you wouldn't even think this would actually work, but when playing this game, it actually works so perfectly, to say the least. Now, this game mostly got 9s and 10s, which is amazingly crazy, which I didn't even think it would happen. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not that I didn't think it would happen, but it's whatever. Anyways, let's talk about the gameplay, right? If you guys like Doom 2016 and that, then I guess you know what you're going into. Now, you got different weapons. You got a shotgun, the hounds, which are the pistols. You got the exploding crossbow weapon. You got the sword, a skull that shoots flames. Also, I should mention that there are like ultimates. Now, the ultimate is like your secondary fire, but you have to fill up your gauge in order to, shoot. But it depends of what ability this thing has. The shotgun has like an exploding, like a missile or whatever, like it's an exploding blast. The hound sends you a clone of your own self and it shoots other enemies. And we have the twin blades, which actually sends off a tornado full of blades. Like, I'm not kidding you. It's like a force shield, kind of, like, to say the least. But yeah, there are 3 different difficulties, and they aren't required to finish the game, by the way. You got easy, normal, and hard. And yeah, that's it. Anyways, let's talk about some of the stuff in here. Now, there isn't as many levels, but there is a good replay value in this one. Now, if you guys are thinking about competing against each other to compete online, just, get the highest score out there in the leaderboards, then yeah, this is for you. This is kind of like your daily competition. The more you practice, the more good you get. It's kind of like, that's all it is. But anyways, you play as the Unknown, and apparently the Unknown has lost her voice. Yeah, it is a she, as that's what they refer to. Anyways, so that's what you're playing. You're playing as a devil who lost her voice, and it's stolen by the judges. Now, nobody cares about the story anyways, and since plenty of people have like called it lacklustering, which I don't know, I wasn't into the story, but the gameplay-wise, well, it's one of the best you guys will probably ever play. Yeah, you can argue that it's a Doom clone, but it's not exactly a Doom clone if there's, rhythm in there. But the game is pretty cheap to pick up. It's around $30 to $40 depending on the platform. $30 on the PC version and $40 on the console. I don't know why they put $10 more on the console market, but I don't know. I just thought it was ridiculous reason, but I don't know what the reason was. But anyways, this game features real bands, like real actual bands, vocalizing the songs. You got guys from System of a Down, Trivium, Arch Enemy, or anything like that. All those sort of bands are in the game. But there's also Dark Tranquility, by the way. So if you guys recognize any of those names, then of course you'll know what you're getting yourself into. And by the way, for content creators' sakes, the game will not take down your videos if you're gonna put their music up while playing the game. So it says in their description of the game that they will not take down your videos based on their music, and they will do everything they can to make sure this will never happen. So that's good. I mean, at least they know what the content creator are trying to look for. It's like, is the song copyright or not? But thankfully, if you guys use their music, you will not be struck down. But if they do, then it's probably some sort of someone trying to impersonate them. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyways, you got plenty of different enemy types to fight, and you have to kill them, basically. Of course you do. But anyways, You also got these boss fights that are supposed to be like the souls for the judges or something like that at least. But they're all the same, but they do fight in different variations. So they're not exactly fighting the same boss over and over, considering they're mostly just like, you know, they're all like the same, but yeah, the model's the same, but they all fight differently. I think once you guys play the game, you'll know what I mean. There's also some sort of torment modes in these things. After you complete each stage, you'll unlock torment. Torment allows you guys to actually get perks. Now with these perks, they can actually improve your ability in the game. So make sure you guys unlock some and look it through and see which ones you guys prefer. Now I do want to mention you can only equip 2 at a time. That's it. No more than 2. Same with the weapons. But if you guys can't like put 2 weapons at the same time, that's because there's a weapon waiting for you. Just a disclaimer, I would say. You're technically carrying 4 weapons, but 2 are always equipped. But you gotta like the other optional ones, but you'll have to at least equip something. So if you guys find yourself a suitable weapon, then go ahead and grab it and you know, do your thing. Now, believe it or not, guys, this game was a Facebook recommendation. Yeah, I was just scrolling through my Facebook, and all of a sudden, a commercial off the game demo showed on my wall. I'm like, what is this? So I took a look at it. I listened to the song. I knew where the vocals from because I listened to System of a Down. So I ended up getting the demo, and I pretty much enjoyed what I've seen. Yeah, again, like I said, when you first time play it, you're gonna have to get used to like everything. So what you're basically doing is that if you see those little 2 cursors, you have to shoot at a perfect time. The more times you shoot perfectly, the more damage you give to the enemy. And the more that you do that, your combo meter comes up. But not only that, but if you get hit by an enemy, you lose your hit streak. But it goes from 1 time, 2 times, 4 times, 8 times, and 16 times. With that, it increases your score, which means, well, you might be number 1 in the leaderboard. But yeah, with the whole point system, that's basically what you're doing. You're competing against other players to see who's number 1. So, again, this game has great replay value despite it being short. Oh, and as of today, September 27th, they just added in music mod support. Yes, that's right, they added music mod support for PC. There's also a tutorial, so it has to be a specific way. You can't just copy and paste music and call it a day like some other games. No, you have to be very specific. Check out Funcom's channel for the tutorial. They'll teach you all the whole basics and tricks and all of that. I should mention that there is a 16 times rune in certain areas in the game. So if you guys are looking for some sort of, you know, way to get the combo boost, you may as well just grab it. Sometimes there's just a up arrow, but it's basically like a combo up. You know, it's like a times like 1 or whatever. But again, if you guys see any of those, immediately grab them, and then you won't have a problem dealing with it. But again, if you guys find yourself a weapon that you much prefer, go right ahead. But when it comes to torments, you don't have any control what weapons you will be using, and it depends too. So make sure you get used to the weapons that you be using, because that's all I'm gonna say about that. Hopefully they'll be adding in like more content to the game, like the more weeks and months that we approach. The one thing I would love to do is I hope they'll add survival mode, like select a stage and music, and like, you know, your much preferred music. Just play the game until you die, and then, you know, that's what I kind of want in this thing. But again, it's all cool and that. So if you guys are liking what you're seeing in the gameplay, well, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and grab the game while you can, and enjoy slaying some demons. Get it? You're a demon slaying demons.